What better way to celebrate the 4th of July than take a look back at the 2019 New England Patriots? The Patriots entering 2019 had went to 3 Super Bowls in a row and won a championship, beating the Los Angeles Rams 13-3 in Super Bowl 53. In 2018, Tom Brady's Patriots started 7-2, finishing 11-5 while winning their 10th straight division title. Their dominance as a team up to that point was unheard of, and with the best coach and QB in the NFL, nobody but themselves could derail their dynasty. Unfortunately for them, the 2019 season brought a lot of questions about the QB and coach relationship. This relationship seemed stable for all these years, but still, speculation grew. Tom Brady had led the offense to a top 5 ranking in 2018, and he was one of the Patriots' 2 Pro Bowlers this season. The other Pro Bowler was cornerback Stephon Gilmore, who led the Patriots to a 7th-ranked defense in points against. With their Super Bowl win at the end of the 2018 season, the New England Patriots tied the Pittsburgh Steelers for the most Super Bowl wins by a franchise. With Belichick and Brady winning all 6 together, talks began to circulate about who deserved more credit for their success. Rumors also started that the same conversation was happening inside the New England Patriots locker room. Though both Patriots denied that any controversy like so occurred, tension blindly grew behind the scenes. The 2019 offseason did not have the best opening act as Hall of Fame tight end Rob Gronkowski announced retirement, shocking the NFL universe. They also lost players like tackle Trent Brown, DN Trey Flowers, and wide receiver Cordell Patterson. New England made some respectable offseason moves as well, signing cornerback Jason McCarthy and undrafted free agent Jacoby Myers, and in the draft with their first-round pick, they selected college standout N'Keal Harry. The Patriots had a solid free agency followed by a strong draft, and after extending Brady for 2 more years, the Patriots had full confidence they had more in the tank despite their offseason woes. In Week 1, the Patriots faced the Steelers team, who were a shell of their former self, despite an outstanding young star in Juju Smith-Schuster aiding their offense. Wide receiver Josh Gordon got the contest started, scoring the first TD for his new team in a 20-0 first half by the Patriots. Their defense dominated the Steelers' offense in a dominating 30-point win. Philip Dorsett also caught 2 TD passes this game, and Tom Brady had an excellent season opener. New England had to visit Miami in their Week 2 matchup versus the Dolphins. Before the game, they signed former Steeler Antonio Brown, who at the time had a lot of controversy surrounding his name, to a 1-year deal. New England seen the signing as a risk, and AB was on thin ice from the jump. In the game, Antonio Brown caught a TD pass from Tom Brady, giving everybody watching flashbacks of 2007. The pass continued scoring throughout all 4 quarters in a 43-0 shutout. New England's defense forced 4 turnovers this game and scored 2 consecutive pick sixes in the 4th. The Patriots through the first 2 weeks were a special kind of dominant, outscoring their opponents 76-3. Following the game, AB was released from the team, but New England continued their dominance in Week 3, not allowing an offensive touchdown for the 3rd straight week. And after an ugly win in Buffalo, the Patriots cruised past their next 4 opponents. They outscored these 4 opponents with a combined score of 128-34. Entering Week 9, the Patriots sat at 8-0, and their identity was their number 1 defense, led by Defensive Player of the Year frontrunner Stephon Gilmore. But they had so many key pieces to this unit, like Dante Hightower, Kyle Van Noy, and J.C. Jackson. A 42-year-old Brady was having a Pro Bowl caliber season, and they had a strong grasp on the AFC. The win in Week 8 also marked Belichick's 300th win, and their historic start drew comparisons to Belichick's 2007 undefeated squad. And the comparisons weren't invalid either, with the Patriots sitting on the top of many team statistics. But Brady and company had a tough matchup before the bye week against the Baltimore Ravens. They sat at 5-2 behind second-year phenom Lamar Jackson. He was an MVP candidate and leading Baltimore to a number 1 offense, but they also possessed a top 5 defense. The Ravens were by far the Patriots' toughest opponent of the season, and in the first, they opposed their will. Baltimore stuck to their strength, using the ground game to jump to a 10-0 lead in the end of the first. They added to the lead early in the second, but after a muff punt by former Patriots Cyrus Jones, New England finally got on the board with Brady TD pass to Mohamed Sanu. Their defense finally put their foot down, and after a pair of field goals, the Patriots were down 17-13 at the half. The third quarter saw both teams trade TDs, but that was the only sign of life the Patriots showed as they fell face first in a 37-20 loss in Baltimore. Lamar skyrocketed to the top of the MVP list after the impressive victory, and going into the bye week, the Patriots set their focus on back-to-back NFC East opponents. They took care of business against the injury-plagued Eagles team and caged the Cowboys' high-powered offense. New England struggled offensively these 2 wins and had some glaring weaknesses despite their 10-1 record. They also had suffered some big losses due to injuries, leaving their offense handicapped. The Week 13 primetime game wasn't a good showing either, losing 22-28 in Houston. And after the loss handed to them by the MVP candidate Deshaun Watson, they faced another candidate in Patrick Mahomes. This was an AFC Championship rematch from the year prior, and Mahomes got his revenge with a 23-16 win over Brady. Patriots fans were left with a bad taste in their mouths after the narrow loss, and the Patriots looked to to avoid a 3-game losing streak heading to Cincy. Concern rang throughout Patriots fandom, and they fell 1 game behind the 1 seed. The Patriots responded to the 2-game skid with back-to-back wins, and with their close division win over the Bills, they clinched their 11th straight AFC East title. They still had a shot at the first-round bye with the win against the Dolphins in the season finale. The last time New England lost to the Dolphins at home was in 2008. The Dolphins head coach Brian Flores was the Patriots defensive coordinator the previous year, and now he faced the New England Patriots defense, who hadn't allowed a 300-yard passer the entire season. QB Ryan Fitzpatrick drove Miami down the field late in the first to end the quarter with the 3-0 lead. Then in the second, after coming up empty-handed in the first drive, Dolphins quarterback Eric Rowe returned an interception for 6. Later in the second, though, a deep ball to Philip Dorsett set up New England to tie the game 10-10 at the half. Miami opened the third quarter with a strong drive, ending in a QB sneak by Fitzpatrick, giving Miami a 7-point lead. Brady responded with a touchdown pass to a linebacker on a wheel route, tying the contest once more. But the Dolphins refused to submit as they moved the ball with ease. Miami took a 3-point lead, but with the James White TD, New England took their first lead with 3 minutes remaining. The Dolphins had one last shot to pull off the upset, and after a couple of big throws from Fitzmagic, Miami was well in the red zone on 1st and goal with 29 seconds remaining. New England depended on their defense to win them the game like they had done all year, but Fitzpatrick connected with Gesicki for a game-winning TD, completing the upset. The Patriots started off the season 8-0, and in the second half of the season, they won 4 of 8, forcing them to play in the wild card for the first time since 2009. In 2019, they had 3 Pro Bowlers, and cornerback Stephon Gilmore won Defensive Player of the Year. Their defense was easily the best in the NFL, and their offense noticeably took a dive from the previous year. The Patriots entered the year as Super Bowl favorites, but as the regular season ended and the postseason approached, New England looked worse than they ever looked, and unfortunately, they had to face the league-leading rusher, King Henry, in the wildcard round. The Patriots' first drive of the wildcard round ended in a field goal, but the Titans responded with Derrick Henry's punishing ground game, with the drive being capped off by a Tannehill TD pass. New England kept the momentum going with some big runs of their own, eventually ending the drive with a rushing TD by Julian Edelman to open up the second quarter. After a couple of stops, the Patriots put together another nice drive that got them inside the 5-yard line, but ended in a goal line stand, forcing a field goal. But on his birthday, King Henry had a response himself, giving the Titans a 1-point lead entering the half. Multiple mistakes from New England left a promising quarter scoreless for them, and after the third, Tennessee still held on to their 14-13 lead when Ryan Tannehill threw an ill-advised interception in the beginning of the fourth quarter. But Tennessee's pesky defense kept Tom Brady out of the end zone for most of the fourth quarter. But the Patriots finally found themselves in the end zone with 15 seconds remaining, but the only problem with it was that they were in their own end zone, facing 99 yards in front of them. And on this 1st and 10 throw, on Tom Brady's last pass as the Patriot, he threw a pick 6. New England had lost 20-13 against the Tennessee Titans in the first round, and in the offseason, Tom Brady's time as a Patriot will end, with him entering free agency and signing with Tampa Bay seemingly the same day. In the dysfunctional, utter chaos of the sudden sinking of this dominant dynasty after all these years, had a quite poetic and fitting end to their reign. And after the 2019 season, the Patriots continued to sink, and Belichick eventually stepped down from the franchise. On the other hand, Brady won a championship in Tampa, and he had some of his best years of his career, throwing for 40 TDs multiple times well into the age of 40. But one thing we can all agree on is that these two greats' success together would never be duplicated.